Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar, and this is Speech Modifications Smart American Accent Training. Want to sound American? You can do it. SpeechModification.com. Well, thanks for joining me for my Friday live broadcast. I'm here to take your questions and to tell you a little bit about some resources on my website, and as always, give you our Friday quick tip you can start using right away. So I would like to tell you that today I'm really excited. I have a couple of live classes coming up in the Seattle area. So if you live here in Seattle, you can come join me at one of my classes in Issaquah or in Bellevue on Sunday the 29th and Sunday November 5th. And if you don't live in the Seattle area or even in the US, you can still join us. I'm going to be broadcasting live for both of those classes. They're about 45 minutes. And the class will give you a nice overview of the American accent. So help you with some understanding of how your accent affects your communication in American English, how listening is affected in your American accent. We'll do a pronunciation lesson on a difficult sound, give you some tips for that. We'll do a little bit of an introduction to American intonation. That's the music, the rhythm, the pitch of American speech. That's an important part of doing your American accent training because many times people have excellent pronunciation, but they don't have American intonation patterns and they're still difficult to understand. So a little bit of knowledge about American intonation will take you very far. So we'll be talking about that in the classes. And I'll be giving you some quick tips in the classes as well. So I hope you can join me. Again, that's Sunday, October 29th and Sunday, November 5th at 4 p.m. West Coast US time. And you'll see those upcoming live broadcasts on my channel page. You just go to upcoming live broadcasts and you can set a little reminder for yourself. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll get an alert when I'm live. And of course, I always keep my live broadcasts available for you to view after the fact as well. So you can view the live broadcast, not live. And to search from my live broadcasts, you can also take a look at the titles. I'm putting in some of the topics, some of the quick tips, some of the things that we're covering so that you can find the information you're looking for. Typically in my live broadcasts, I'm talking about things that I also have videos for. So a great way to find what you're looking for is go to my channel page, look at my playlists. You'll find information on specific sounds, on specific words, how you say some difficult words, and general information that you need to know in American accent training. You can use the search feature there on the channel, type in your word, your phrase, your question, and relevant videos will pop up for you. So I'm excited about the classes. I hope you can attend either in person or virtually here on YouTube Live. And I also want to today give you a quick tip. So for today, I want to ask you a question. And I'm guessing that for many of you, the answer will be yes. So have you ever been on the phone and having to give your name or your address and the other person on the other end of the line doesn't understand you or doesn't get it right? I think that's true for everyone. Even if you don't have an accent, it can be quite difficult to be well understood when giving your name and address over the phone. And people are aware that maybe they need to spell out their name or spell out their address, but there's a specific way to do it that's going to really help you be understood. I have a couple of videos about this. One's called Spelling Over the Phone, and one's about pronouncing the American accent, and you can watch those for more in-depth details. But let me just give you some quick information, a quick tip about spelling over the phone now. So, because we're on the phone, we cannot see the other person's mouth. We can't see what they're doing, and frequently that means we can't differentiate between certain letters. Also, the phone is not as good for listening. It's missing some of the sound frequencies, and so it's even harder to interpret what's being said. So I'm going to demonstrate. I want to show you that it can be quite difficult to tell what someone's saying, even if they're a native speaker and you can understand them well. Right now I'm going to say either the letter M or the letter N, and I want you to be able to try to tell if you can tell which one I'm saying if you can't see my mouth. So, which one am I saying? mm. Could you tell? I was saying like Mary. You can see my lips when I say and then you can tell and but when I cover up, that time I said both. You have to really rely on your hearing. So I said and then the second time. Similarly, there's some other groups of letters that are tough to differentiate. For example, can you tell which letters I'm saying now? F, S, X. Okay, just then I was saying F, S, and X. We really rely on looking at someone's mouth to tell what they're saying. Here's another pair. D, B. I said D and B. Maybe you could tell, maybe you couldn't. If you add in the element of being over the phone, people really have a hard time differentiating those and other letters. If you watch my video about the American alphabet, it groups the letters that sound similar and tells you which letters those are. And if you watch my spelling over the phone video, it tells you what to say when you're spelling out those letters. So for example, Americans will typically say B as in boy, M as in Mary, T as in Tom. That video highlights which words you should say that American listeners will recognize. You can use other words, but sometimes it's less clear, so it's helpful to know some of those names that we use for differentiating, typically American names. I suggest practicing your own name and your own address, spelling them out, saying the letters and spelling out the letter names, so that you're ready to do it the next time you're on the phone. When it comes to your name, unless it's a typical American name like John or James, something that an American will recognize, you're probably going to want to spell each letter of the name. It can sound awkward if you say B as in boy, O, F, M as in. So you don't want to do a mix. You want to use the spelling B as in boy, M as in Mary, etc. for all of the letters of your name. So practice saying that way. When it comes to spelling out your address, again, if you live on a common street name that's typical American, so Main Street or Riverside Drive, something that an American will recognize, it's not necessary to spell it out. But if it's something less common or more unusual, you may want to spell it, or you may want to try it and see if the person asks you to repeat or to spell. If they ask you to repeat or spell, don't be offended. They're going to be doing that with American callers as well. It's really just to clarify and get it right. Especially when you're doing business over the phone, you want to make sure that they have the correct spelling for your name. Also, your email address. A lot of times it's helpful to be able to spell that out accurately. If that's the only way the person's going to be able to contact you in the future, you want to get that email address right, or you're going to lose that contact potentially. So that's my quick tip for today. You can find out some more details about spelling over the phone and saying the alphabet in my videos, as I said. And of course, more information for pronunciation, intonation, all of the elements of American accent on my channel, speechmodification.com, and on speechmodification.com, my website. I have some additional materials beyond my videos on the website that give you audio practice, give you written text, if it's more useful for you to read information rather than see it in a video. Also on my website I have online courses. I do one-on-one accent training, group, corporate training. So come check it out, and why not get a free trial of one of my courses? You can check it out and find it if it's useful for you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you about today. My upcoming accent classes, both on YouTube and in person in the Seattle area, and that tip for how to spell over the phone and why you should. We'll be meeting again next Friday, and I'll have some more quick tips for you, some more information. As always, if you have any questions, any comments, anything I can help you with, please put it in the comments of this video or any of my other videos, and I'll get back to you with an answer and perhaps a video to answer your question. I get a lot of my best ideas from people who watch my videos. You tell me what you really need, and I address those needs. Okay, thanks for joining me, and remember, if you want to sound American, you can do it. speechmodification.com